So I, like many people, have seen on the news the situation with Andrew and Tristan Tate and their current situation sat in American prison. And it has hit the news that they have multiple passports and residencies, some in their names, some by investment, and others in completely made up names. I think they chose the names of various Bond villains for some of their identities. And it's, as you can see here, it's on almost every news channel today. Well, the Tate brothers did some things which were very sensible. They took some very good steps, but they also did some things which were very stupid. So let's break it down. But first off, my name is Joseph Boll. I head Frederick Capital, and I consult people and high net worth individuals on how to acquire citizenships and residencies via investment. This is where you invest money into a country as a donation or buying a property, and they will give you a citizenship. It also applies to those residencies, where you invest some money and you get the right to be a resident of that country. Now, Andrew is famous for having multiple passports. I think he had by birth, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he had a US and a British passport from his birth. And, so like a British mother, American father perhaps. But then he clearly purchased passports. He went to various countries and invested some money and got a passport in return. Quite legal, quite practical, and it's something we often advise our clients to do. And if you have a life like Andrew, which is very mobile, you live in different countries, you're particularly wealthy, and you're a little bit edgy, it goes as part of his lifestyle to be able to move globally easily, and that's what passports allow you to do, and why, if you can, you should always have more than one. You do not want to be tied to one country. Tied to one country, that country controls you. If you have two citizenships, then you have a lot more freedom. So Andrew and Tristan, having more than one passport makes a lot of sense. And there's also practical terms of if your wealth is international, as his is, clearly he had a lot of Bitcoin and there's assets all over the world, he can structure his companies and trusts, etc., to give tax optimization, and second citizenships allow you to do that. But what he did was pretty stupid. This is it. He boasted about how many passports he had. He went on his social media and he said, look how many citizenships and passports I have. I am unstoppable. Nobody can control me because I can jump on a plane and go anywhere in the world and nobody could stop me because I have multiple passports. Well, unfortunately, when the US government decided to come for him, that was his immediate downfall, because the prosecutors could go to the judge and say, this guy is clearly a flight risk. Just look at his social media. He said he's a flight risk. He's highlighted he holds multiple citizenships, and if he was arrested, he would flee the country. So he was immediately denied bail and put in a prison cell, basically for stupidity. I mean, there's a lot more to it than that. There's some very serious crimes, I know, but till they're proven guilty, he is still innocent. Remember that. I'm not dismantling what he's done. I'm just saying the law stands, you are innocent until proven guilty. And a lot of people would be able to have home arrest. But Andrew doesn't, because he is a flight risk. Now, it is a good idea to buy a second passport. And there are multiple situations where people think they're going to have a legal dispute with their home government. And if you're going to enter a legal dispute, sometimes it's better to do it from another country. If you can do that legally, and it might be you are chasing the government for something, well, actually, rather than fighting that from that country, there have been situations that people have used a second citizenship to reside in a different country and then take legal action against their home country. There's also been political reasons. Politics can be pretty rough at times, and there are places in the world where political parties try and put their rivals in prison. So there's been multiple situations where politicians have purchased second passports and citizenships to give them and their families some international protection when they lose power to a rival party. You may not agree with it, but that's a fact. But the important thing is, we've always described second passports, as a plan B, a hedge, an insurance. It's the sort of thing you buy in case of an emergency. You hope to never need it, but you have it there sat in your safe if you do. You have a comfort of knowing you have a second citizenship, which holds a percentage of your international wealth, your assets, and if you ever needed to, you could travel on that citizenship. But it's a quiet thing. It's something you keep to one side. What you don't do is plaster it all over social media so it can be used in evidence against you. So I think he was sensible in getting citizenships. He should, any global person who has good global mobility should consider second citizenships, but you shouldn't boast about it because that will potentially cause you a lot of problems. So that's the nuts and bolts of what's happened with Andrew Tate, I think, and watch this space. But if you would like further information on second citizenships and what they could mean for you, well, please don't hesitate to reach out. Like I say, my name is Joseph. I head Frederick Capital. This is what we do. We consult people on how they can acquire a second citizenship. And you can drop me a message. The link is in the bio.